I'm Jose Jimenez, Chacha Jimenez. The Young Lords were a neighborhood youth group in Lincoln Park, Chicago, and we were being harassed by the other gangs that existed. And so we saw a need to begin our own gang for protection. Some of us even saw our parents beating up our uncles and fathers beating up. And so they come together as a church, as a Catholic church, to try to change those things, to try to improve the community, to develop the community. And all of a sudden, the city of Chicago decides that they need that area. It's prime real estate. In Puerto Rico, they every time there's an election, they get machetes and they cut the grass and they make them look like roads. I remember when I was younger, they used to do that. It's sort of what Mayor Daley did in Chicago. So urban renewal became urban removal of poor people. These are citizens of the United States, and they were being treated like illegal aliens, and they displaced them. They discriminated against them. So we didn't have any role models. We just had to fend for ourselves. But we didn't want to. Our parents were being discriminated, but they were quiet and silent, and we had grown up here. And so we knew we had rights, and we were trying to defend our rights. We were just trying to defend our hood. So we would go into other neighborhoods, and we would pick fights with people just to get a reputation. I had become the leader of the gang in the mid-'60s. And so the gang was getting into drugs and crime, and I'm trying to keep the gang together, but I'm involved in drugs myself. So I went to jail for possession of drugs. I started reading Martin Luther King, and he's a religious person. And then I also read another religious person, Malcolm X. So I kind of got both sides. I got the peace side, and I got Malcolm X talking about revolution. And then I started hearing on the news about the Black Panther Party in Oakland taking over a courthouse. That kind of fascinated me a little bit, and I felt, this is what we need to do in the Puerto Rican community. And so I said, when I get out of here, that's what I want to do. So I got out, and now we're broadening ourselves, and we're forming the Lincoln Park Poor People's Coalition. And I was elected president of that. Well, McCormick Theological Seminary, a religious institution, clearly stated that they were not going to be involved in low-income housing because it was not profitable. We said, you know what, we can take this building over. And we went in, and we had no cars at that time, no vehicles. Most of us had bicycles. So that's what we used, was chains, from the bicycle chains. We broke in and chained the doors and took it over. By the next morning, we had called the media. The media had broadcasted, and the place was filling up with our people. And so we had, by the next morning, we had about 350 people inside the seminary with us, the administration building. Today is DePaul University. When we threatened to burn down the library is when they negotiated with us, and we received all our demands. We won all our demands, $601,000 to be invested in low-income housing. We needed to involve more of the people in the community. Started uniting with other groups, like the Northside Cooperative Ministry, the Concerned Citizens of Lincoln Park, and so we began to organize demonstrations. We're gaining a reputation in the political field. When Harold Washington, the first African-American mayor, was elected, and we played a major role in that election. There was 100,000 people in June of 1983, and I was the only one on stage representing the Young Lords and introducing the newly elected mayor. We gave out 30,000 buttons with Tengo Puerto Rico en mi corazón. I have Puerto Rico in my heart, and it was a different feeling from picketing and protesting to being victors, to winning. I mean, this is the first gang that turned themselves around.